Hello and welcome. So, you've probably already heard the news already. If not, Commissar Sebastian York will not be in the new Astro Militarum Codex. I believe, as a community, we can get him in the Codex where he belongs, or at least a downloadable datasheet after release, so he can still be used on the tabletop. So, share the hell out of this video. We need to show Games Workshop that Yarrick belongs to the tabletop, and in the Codex, he is one of the best characters 40k has ever had. And honestly, I love this character. I love the books, I love his lore, I love his model. Anyway, so here's some reasons why I think. First things first, this Yarrick model isn't even the oldest model available. Captain Tycho has that honor, and he died on Armageddon. The only change Tycho has had is once made from metal, and now he's fine cast. Yarrick survived Armageddon twice and had two models. I like the old metal model, but I do prefer the new fine cast one. I know it's fine cast, but the model looks better. Tycho has 9th edition rules in the Blood Angel supplement. He actually has two data sheets, not one. But it looks like Yarrick won't even get one. Yarrick is all types of badass. He led a rebellion against orcs when he was a slave and had one arm because they took his power claw. He beat Gazgol Fracker twice, killed an orc war boss with one arm. After getting his arm cut off by that orc's power claw, he used his own chainsword to kill Ugelhard. Yarrick then went on to rip the power claw right from a dead orc's body, lifted it up to show everyone the orc was dead, he had the weapon, and then he allowed himself to pass out. Think about that. Just 1 second. He killed one of the highest ranking orcs, who would have been a big green beast, and he was old at this time. Stole his weapon, and thought, I'm going to have a nap, right in the middle of a battlefield. Legend has it is his brass balls are so heavy is why he has a Baneblade and not a Taurox or a Chimera. Yarrick's model is still one of the best looking models Games Workshop has ever made. He is so expressive. Yarrick has this kinetic look about him, which is rare in any Games Workshop model. In like the entire range, they do look very static, but his looks very kinetic. He has an air of command. He looks like a leader in a battlefield. Like I said, something that GW lacks in most models. Even the Space Marine commanders never really have this look about them. From this open pose, his outstretched arm, the fact that you can almost hear him shouting commands with that expressive face. The Powerclaw and Stormbolter. That's right, he shoots a Stormbolter like a pistol. Everything about this model shows Yarrick is not to be trifled with, and let's not forget he can shoot lasers from that eye of his, because what is not badass about a laser eye? Right, and one of my favourite things is if you read the Yarrick books, you find that Yarrick considers those under his command are in his care as well. That's right, he tries to make sure his soldiers are looked after properly, and that he does it too. He stopped an interrogation of one of his men because it was important that he should be treated properly, and should the soldier have done anything wrong, Yarrick was the one that was meant to deal out the punishment. Look, this is a high level of humanity, which is rarely seen in 40k. You can point out Sarthis Kane, but Sarthis Kane's a bit of a coward, and he runs away. But he doesn't execute people because, it's the right thing to do. He doesn't execute people because it will piss off everyone else, and therefore makes enemies. That's why he doesn't do it. Gaunt doesn't like executing people. Yarrick doesn't like executing people. He's a human being, and he shows it in his books. And again, we can see this time and time again. If we look at Armageddon, the safety of the civilians was his top priority, and that the ones that signed up for militia, this is something which, in Armageddon, with different hives, Yarrick never forced militia. He never forced conscription. He actually got people to volunteer. And those who didn't volunteer were still given a gun. It's like, you're still part of this militia, but you're not going to do the fight. You're going to stay home and defend yourself. Fantastic bit of writing. Right. And the ones who did sign up to militia were given training. Unlike many others who would have just dragged them all out. Hey, you're an able-bodied fighting civilian. Here's a gun. The enemy's that way. Point. towards the enemy, Yarrick made sure the populace had a fighting chance, and we can further see his humanity when with the armed militia was also kept back. The trained soldiers were sent out and sparing as many civilian casualties as possible. Right, he's only human. A human that Ghazghkull Thraka, the prophet of Gork and Mork, considered to be his equal. Ghazghkull, who fought Ragnar Blackmane, yet he thinks Yarrick is his equal. Ghazghkull Thraka considers Yarrick as important to his existence as food and drink. It's not just Ghazghkull either. Many orcs, which we can assume to be the closest emotion that orcs can feel, to fear Yarrick. And with this in mind, he's important to two factions, and he's the only one that has a clear importance to two factions, and that is the Astra Militarum and the Orcs. Not even Ythrain has, we're using now Dari as a single faction, Drukhari and of course Graflord being separate factions, sub-factions. Oh, he's not even there. Ythrain is just for the faction of Ynnari. Yet here we have a human whose importance is deeply ingrained into orc culture. He's the reason he literally has that laser eye, because they said he could kill with looks, so he had a laser eye put in so he could kill with looks. So the orcs find him very important. So you're not just getting, it's like you can't just stop this because of the Astra Militarum side. There's the orcs to think of as well, and there's a lot more orcs. Removing Yarrick from Ghazghkull Thraka is akin to removing Batman from the Joker, Superman from Lex Luthor. Those two are so entwined into this battle. They need to be kept like this. A constant fight. And this is a single human who rallied an planet twice. Fought one of the worst invaders of Armageddon twice. He is a hero of the Imperium, whereas a dead space marine, Tycho, died in the same war Yarrick fought in and had the same model since 2nd edition. It is not right that Yarrick gets removed. He needs to stay on, and Yarrick's. So if Tycho stays, Yarrick should stay too. Because he's alive, and he's an absolute badass. I can't underestimate how much of a badass Yarrick is. And honestly, if anything, his model should be updated, not removed. But Games Workshop are going to Games Workshop. We can't change that. So if Games Workshop still sees fit in removing, then let's have a proper send-off. So look, my personal one, I've said this a lot to my friends. I would love to see him fighting back-to-back with Ghazghkull Thraka because they have no choice. They are fighting demons on Armageddon. Yarrick dies. Ghazghkull goes into his absolute rage, butchering every single demon because that was his enemy. It was his right to kill him. No, and it was taken away from him. And at the end of the war, Ghazghkull carries old Bullseye's corpse, akin to how Batman carries the Joker out of, at the end of Arkham City, back to the Imperial Guard's garrison. There's no shots fired. He solemnly leaves. He's leaving for now, as a respect to his dead foe, and yet he is upset because he will never know who would win. For that orc wanted this fight so badly that he's now lost it. And now for that fight to be cut short by demons of the warp has obviously going to affect him. Because he sees him so importantly. I'm actually going to go a bit unscripted here. Because I want to read. Look, this is what I think this is from 3rd edition Codex. This is what Ghazghkull Thraka literally thinks of one. He got Yarrick. Commissar Sebastian Yarrick. There you go. Orcs need a good. I can't find it. The prophet. Here you go. Here we go. In his speech on a Warlord Titan wreckage found by Dark Angels, this was found written down. I'm going to the one bit which actually talks about Yarrick. I'm the buffet of the Wa. A whole world's burned in my boot prints. On Armageddon, I led the boys through the deserts. I smashed their Umi's metal cities to scrap. I fought Yarrick, old One-Eye, at Tartarus, and he fought good, but we smashed his city too. See, the fact that he even talks about him on his pillar, on his pedestal. Whatever, that thing that they have at the back of churches. I keep forgetting what's going on anyway. And Yarrick's important for him to mention that Yarrick's important to his religious side, and that's important to him. I can't find the other quote about how he needs humans, how enemies. Orcs need people to fight as much as they need grogs. We need people to fight as much as we need grog to drink and meat to eat. Yeah, that's pretty much the quote as well. But I can't find that one. What the book's that in? If you know the book, leave it down below. Yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching. Actually, I'm quite upset that Yarrick looks like he's going to be muted. Share this video. Let's show Games Workshop. As a community, we want this guy. He's such a great character. He's so iconic to the lore. And, yeah. And also, comment, subscribe as well, as always. Just to show my sincerity on how much I want Yarrick, and I want you guys to share this. I'm not putting any links down below. There is no links down below today. So yeah, just share this video. Let's show Games Workshop that we want Yarrick. #SaveYarrick. Thank you very much. Have a great day.